Hello, everyone. Recently, I've made some videos responding to David's list where he ranks every Wyvern card. He gave it a rating between 1 and 10, and I broke his long list, because it's every card, into all the different categories, which they were already categorized by him, and I made multiple videos going over all of those cards. While we were generally in agreement on most cards, there were quite a few where we differed, and still do, actually, but he actually has changed his opinion on a few of the cards, coming to agree with me, and I changed my opinion on a few of the cards, coming to agree with him. And 3 of those cards are right here. Now, I never thought that Ape was the best interceptor. I thought it was fine. You get a 2-strength dragon in the row for free. It's okay. It's not bad. But I figured the best interceptor was a Pinnacus. 3 for 1. 2 is just a little too weak. I thought, it's fine. It's okay. But 3 for 1 is good. And even though it's 2 gold, a 4-strength interceptor is pretty darn powerful. And then, of course, you've got these really expensive guys, which, while they're very powerful, they're a little too expensive to you don't want to play more than 1 or 2 copies in your interceptor deck. They are in my interceptor deck, but they're just too expensive. But I've always felt that those were the best too. And David had ranked this guy the highest. And I'm like, now, why do you think Ape is better? And I didn't really get it. And I didn't understand. And then he said, because you can play Cricket, Minotaur, and Celestial Charger on Ape, because Ape is counts as a 2-strength dragon, and these cards can only be played on dragons with a base strength of 2 or less. And I went, oh, I did not even realize that. So all of a sudden, Ape is now the best interceptor in the game. The weakest, the free one, he's the best. Now, Celestial Charger is a lot of money, but +5 is a big pump. So I wouldn't run 4 copies of Celestial Charger. I have just created a deck. I haven't built it all because I don't have enough of the cards, but I've got all the cards pulled. Let's put it that way. I'm going to show you all the cards that I've pulled to build this deck. So the idea here is we're going to fight, and we're going to use Ape as our only interceptor in the deck because of his ability to use those strength modifiers. So we're going to build a Little Dragons deck because of that. We want everything to be 2 or less base strength. But I also decided the best thing that interceptors do, one of the best things they do, is they wreck scouts. You attack my card with your scout, and I don't want that to go through because you're going to hit a terrain, let's say. Well, there's two ways to stop scouts in the game. The 2 best ways, I should say. Chameleon terrains, because you can turn it into a dragon, and interceptors who intercept the attack, blocking the scout from taking out that terrain. Now, if the scout kills your interceptor, the attack still goes through. So we want, basically what I'm doing here is I said, let me see if I can build what would be an anti-scout deck. But if it's not going up against the scout deck, it's still a Little Dragons deck, which will be really powerful. But its theme is I don't want scouts to be the problem. This is designed to take out the scout deck. I don't know how successful it will be, but we're going to get into it. Now, these 2 cards, I never thought these were all that good. I'm totally wrong about Calypso, and I think I'm wrong about Atlas too. Calypso has a lot of targets, action, reaction, or Dragon Slayer action. Atlas doesn't have nearly as many, but it does have battle action, which there are going to be battle action cards. Intercept actions could come up, but they're not nearly as common. What's great about these cards is gold shortage says all players lose 2 gold. And if you're trying to drain your opponent of gold, gold shortage is a great card to play. Well, these cards are a one-sided gold shortage as a reaction. Or they counter the thing you're trying to counter. So if they play a magnetic field or an action or a battle action or a Dragon Slayer action or whatever, you just play one of these in your hand, and it's either countered or they're going to lose 2 gold. So that's really good. And I undervalued how good that is. This is 8 shots that you have in your deck to drain them of 2 gold or counter the thing they're doing. Countering their magnetic field with Calypso is just nasty, because otherwise they just paid 4 gold for their magnetic field. That's really something else. So these two cards I want in the deck. I want 4 of each. So that's going to be a lot. We're going to only have so many copies. I haven't even counted it up, but we'll see here. Definitely going to go with 4 Ape. And we're certainly going to go with 4 Cricket and 4 Minotaur. Only going to run 2 Celestial Charger. Don't need to run 4 of those. They're too expensive. I don't know if I'll run Magical Sword. Maybe I'll just run a couple. It's actually the weakest strength modifier in this deck. +2 for 1 gold is still a good rate, though. But because we're dealing with, well, I should get to it. I've got 3 Chameleon Terrain dragons in the deck. So that's 12 terrains, 4 of each. Those are all defending when being attacked, so I'm definitely going to run 4 Castle. Now I get +3 for 1 when defending, which they always are when they're attacked, when you turn them into a dragon. And since 2 of them are Chameleon, Bracken and what's the other one? Crag? Is it Crag or is it Grotto? I keep forgetting. It's Crag. I might run some Giant Ants. Maybe I'd put 2 Giant Ants in the deck, because there's 8 subterranean dragons in the deck. So maybe I'd run 2. It's just an option. Not sure. Then I want to slay their their scouts. I want to slay their scouts. So 4 Beowulf and 4 Sigurd. And of course, Sigurd is good in any deck, and Beowulf is fine in any deck, because you are going to run across scouts in just about every deck. So those 2 are very, very excellent in this deck, because I'm trying to, like I say, I want this as an anti-scout deck. Not going to put Zeus in. I might put Zeus if I had a sideboard. I would definitely put Zeus in the sideboard. So we'll go over that a little bit too. Then we have these 3 cards, which we are going to be limiting when we play to just 2 copies per card. I think these cards, at least these 2 should be limited to 2 copies per card. Maybe Knight can be 3 or 4. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking 2. But regardless, I would play Fountain of Youth over Golden Apple, because it can't be countered with, magnetic field and stuff. It can be destroyed. You can destroy the Fountain of Youth. So there is that. But I would probably play Fountain of Youth and Knight. Don't know if I'm going to play Golden Apple. Maybe I would put Golden Apples in the sideboard if I felt I needed to really survive. But I don't really want to be losing battles and surviving. I'm trying to take out their scouts. So I might not run anything here other than maybe a couple Knights and a couple Fountains of Youth. I'm not really sure. All right, then for card draw, we have these 3 cards. Again, 2 copies, 3 copies, 4 copies. Maybe 2 Meteor Showers and maybe 2 or 3 of each of these. Just as an example, gives you all the card draw you need. Then, of course, we're running 4 magnetic fields. And because we're running little dragons, no matter what you do, for one thing, you might run into big dragons. You're not always going to run into a scout deck. This is my anti-scout deck. But if they're going to, if I'm running into non-scouts, any dragon of 3 or more base strength, and this should say base strength on it, this is not the updated version, I probably would put 2 Power Switch in my main and 2 in the sideboard. And so same with Poison Chalice. I'm looking at going up against a scout deck, so I'm going to put 2. Maybe I'd put 3 or 4 in the main. I'm not sure. 2, 3, or 4 Poison Chalice, the rest in the sideboard, whatever I don't use. And then, of course, my 1 copy of Volcanic Eruption. So that's the basic deck. I'm going to try to drain them of gold with Calypso and Atlas, or counter their stuff. And then I'm going to build a deck that is designed anti-scout deck. So 3 Chameleon Terrains, all little dragons, 0 strength sub-scout, 1 strength flyer, and 2 strength sub. Now, the flyer Nebula, I would would rather it was a 1-strength sub so I could play more giant ants, but Nebula's fine. It's a flying dragon. I'm going to run Cricket, Minotaur, Castle for defending, and a couple Celestial Chargers. Nebula can put up a really good fight, so can Bracken. Now with Bracken, I'm behind. That's the only thing. I turn him into a scout. Their scout is beating my scout 0-0, but I should be able, I have a good chance to win, and then I end up with a scout. So I might only run 2 scouts in the deck or 3. We'll see. I'm definitely going to run Amphitheater because it's free. I'm going on minimal gold cost here because I've got no gold generation in this deck. So I'm keeping my gold cost to a minimum, which is concerning with my Poison Chalice, let alone Power Switch. Delphine for possible card draw. Keolung for possible card draw. Like I said, with Fountain of Youth and Golden Apple, you definitely run Keolung because you want to keep him alive. You want him losing battles to draw cards. But that's not what this deck really wants to do. So Keolung and Grendel are optional. I have Delphine and Amphitheater as my good flying scouts that I want. Flying scouts are better, but Grendel's one of the best scouts in the game, and he can get me gold. So these are all optional. Definitely going to run my 1 copy of, well, it's always 1 copy of Lindworm. For one thing, he can survive without dying. He's a little dragon, which means he might win the battle. And he can lose 1 battle without dying. So he's a built-in golden apple. So you just play him. And then my two of my best fighters are my 2-strength flyers that only cost 2 gold, Ozzy Dahaka and Seacreps. I'm just looking to fight with these guys, to kill their scouts. Now their scouts are losing 2-0, so that's really good. My 2 secret weapons are Ogancho and Basilisk. Basilisk, everything just dies that's in a battle with Basilisk. Well, the dragon in battle with Basilisk and Basilisk both die. They're both killed. There's no winner. There's no loser. That's just how Basilisk works. And Ogancho can be really, really good on defense. He's kind of a secret weapon. If my opponent has cards in hand, that's his strength. Otherwise, he's a 0 when attacking, but I don't need to attack with him. But in this deck, I can. So lots of options with Ogancho. So that is the deck. I think this is a really, really cool deck. I like that I now have, well, I don't have it built completely yet, but I have an anti-scout deck because scout decks are really, really powerful. And it's nice to have a deck that you can pull out to say, oh, you want to play your scout deck? Here, let me play my anti-scout deck. Let's see how they play against each other. And I would love to do that. I would love for someone to play this deck against my scout deck. I have 2 scout decks, but they're too similar. I have to change one. I want one to be based on Growth Spurt and the other one to be based on the basic little dragon, you know, pump the little dragons, power switch, and all that stuff. But the other one I want to do with Growth Spurt, and I just haven't done it yet. But anyway, that is the deck. Curious what you think. And I will put David's list rating every Wyvern card in the description below, so you can click on that and look at it. I think he put my ratings, because I rated every one in response to his ratings. And then we made comments in my videos. We talked in my videos, and you can see where we agreed and disagreed and where we changed our opinion based on all of this. So I'm really glad I took the time to make those videos. Sadly, not too many people have clicked on them. Hopefully more will. I think you'll really enjoy looking at the different ratings and seeing how different people see how powerful these cards are. I know very few people play this game anymore, but I'm on a mission. My mission in life is to create 2nd edition Wyvern. So Mike Fitzgerald, if you're out there, let's make that happen. I'm half serious, guys. I know that the odds of that happening are like 1,000,000 to 1, but I would love to do it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.